On the show in Wheelspin, we drive the soon-to-be-launched Mercedes C220 CDI. In Wheelspin, we ride the Benelli 899. And in the best of luxury driving, we drive the new Mercedes Benz C200 to Benares. What I have with me today is the new C-Class from Mercedes-Benz. And if you're wondering why we have this car again on the show, I'll tell you that this is the C-Class with a big difference. This is the C220 CDI, which means that this is the diesel variant. And knowing how important diesel variants are for Indian markets, we are going to take this one for a drive today. Mercedes had launched the new C-Class at the end of last year, and although this was a completely new car sitting on a new platform and sporting new design elements, one thing Mercedes didn't do was to launch it with a diesel variant as well. The existing new C-Class till now was available only with the 2-litre petrol engine, and now in an effort to increase the market share and give its customers more choice, Mercedes is soon launching this with the diesel engine as well. The diesel variant of this new C-Class is powered by the same trusted 2143cc engine which does duty on many other Mercedes models. Consequently, it's a reliable unit and you will not have any performance issues on that. But where it falls a bit short is in terms of the audibility. It is an engine which is audible, especially when you hear it at the idling. It comes across as a bit loud, as most German diesel engines do, but it doesn't really take away anything in sense of performance. It does still get to the 0 to 100 mark in 7.4 seconds with a top speed of 233 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good for a sedan which is meant for commuting. But I would have still preferred that the engine were a little quieter, and Mercedes has of course done their best in terms of dampening, but you can still hear it. The engine is mated to the 7-speed transmission, which of course comes with the Eco, Comfort and the Sport mode. And for regular driving, it's the Eco mode that you should put it in. But then, if you really want to push it hard, you also have the Sports mode. And of course, you have paddle shifts here to make sure that you go through the rev band really fast. What I really like about the new C-Class is the handling part. It has really improved as compared to the older outgoing C model. And the ride comfort is really ideal for your everyday commute to office. Overall, this is a car you'd be pretty happy to drive on a regular basis. And to top it all, it gives you a fuel efficiency of over 19 kilometers to a litre according to ARI certification. So that should be very good for a car in this segment. The engine might be a little noisy, but in terms of torque, it delivers a class-leading 400 Newton meters, which puts it ahead of its competitors. And this is what helps this C220 CDI to cover the ground pretty quickly. And if you're in the market for a regular luxury commuter, then again the class-leading fuel efficiency is a nice icing on the cake. And what I really like about driving this is the overall feel of the car. It comes across as poised and confident and goes about doing its business with ease. Once you step inside the new C-Class, you are sure to find things which are bound to please you. Nice leather-wrapped seats with extended thigh supports, which are sure to make things very comfortable if you're on a long drive. Plus a dual-tone fascia with wooden veneer in it, which gives it a very classy feel. A large information display. Plus you have things which you don't find in any car in this segment. A nice 16-speaker Burmester sound system and a panoramic sunroof to make things really lively inside the cabin. Plus, of course, the seating here is very high, which gives you a very confident stance once you are driving. And the leather-wrapped steering makes things really feel good. And it has multifunction buttons on it too. The instrumentation is small, but it is very easy to read and gives you all the information that you require. All this really adds up to a very pleasurable driving experience. The The interiors of this diesel variant is no different from its petrol sibling, but that is not to say that it isn't nice. In fact, the C-Class interiors are certainly the most well-appointed and best among all the entry-level luxury cars. And one area where Mercedes has made huge improvement over the years is in the quality of materials. Right from the switchgear to the leather, it reeks of quality, and the impression that it creates is that you are truly at the wheels of a luxury car. When we had driven the new C-Class some times back, we had said that this car offers pretty much a complete package. It not only looks good, it drives well, and in terms of features and conveniences, it offers everything that you might expect from a car in this segment. And now this diesel variant will only add value to the range, because it will also give you economy in terms of everyday driving, as this is powered by diesel. And the good thing is that Mercedes, in their newfound aggression for the Indian market, have not only opened many new outlets, but unlike other luxury car manufacturers who are complete rip-offs when it comes down to servicing their cars, have come up with really customer-friendly schemes which will help you maintain and service your Mercedes much better. So if you are in the market for an entry-level luxury car, you would do well to have a look at this new C. Well, Mercedes is still to launch the car formally, and till then we can only speculate on the price. But the petrol variant is priced at Rs 40.9 lakhs, so chances are that it should not be too much different from this. And Mercedes also is the only manufacturer who in the past have priced their diesels lower than the petrol variants. So don't be surprised if that happens again. But of course the final price will depend on the loadings on the car. But a base diesel can be the deal clincher here. What I'm going to ride today is the Benelli 899. Benelli, as you know, is one of the oldest motorcycle manufacturers from Italy, and they recently teamed up with the DSK Group of Pune to launch an entirely new range of motorcycles for the Indian market, starting at a 300cc, which would be the entry level, and going all the way to a 1000cc plus. This 899 is sandwiched somewhere in between, and it's time for us to find out how well she rides. It is the styling of this bike that first catches your attention, although it's neither a very big tourer nor a flashy sports bike. But it's a machine which instantly looks stylish and attractive. And then when you notice the layout with a straight handlebar, a bulging tank but no fairings, and a seat design more in line with the sports bike, you will realize that this is a machine which mixes things very pleasantly, while it ensures that you have a comfortable ride minus the crouching position, but yet it promises to be fun. And what gives its intentions away is the fat underseat exhaust, which again seems inspired by a sports bike and promises performance. But the ground clearance is high and the uncluttered style makes it light, which again adds to the rideability. This 899 here also carries the same Italian design flair for which all Benelli bikes are known for. A tubular trellis frame chassis which holds the engine, nice upswept underseat exhaust which comes out here, and of course this is not a bike which is fully fairing, but what it has is a small fairing. But the clever thing is that this fairing conceals the radiator fan, which helps it suck out all the heat. In fact, it's a very clever piece of engineering and design as well. Overall, I think that this 899 is one of the prettiest bikes you will find in the Indian market when they launch it. In spite of a lean-forward riding position, the Benelli 899 is quite easy to ride, and what really makes it so easy to ride is a straight handlebar, which again ensures that you still are in somewhat of an upright position. But what really gives me a funny feeling while I'm riding is this fairing. This fairing is bolted on here and there is no support as far as you can see, and while you're riding it feels like as if this is going to fall forward, but nevertheless this gives it a very nice design edge. What this really holds here is actually the instrumentation cluster, which is a combination of the digital as well as an analog, and in terms of information you pretty much get everything that you need in a bike in this category. The seats are quite comfortable and well padded, and these mirrors really look classy with their design. Sitting on a light frame, the 899 does a quick job of getting to the 3-digit mark. This feels like a bike which is eager to be ridden hard, with the engine pumping out 1 bhp after another in a very linear way. And what makes this even more of a delightful experience is the deep throttle rumble from the underseas exhaust, which comes alive as you race through the rev band and make sure that heads turn your way. In fact, it's a great sounding machine, and if you find yourself in an open stretch of road and throttle her hard, you are sure to enjoy the audio part of the riding as well. The 899, as is obvious by the badging, is powered by an 898cc inline 3-cylinder liquid-cooled engine, which pumps out 120 PS as peak power and 88 Newton meters of max torque. But keep in mind, what I drive today is an Italian spec machine. This has not been yet homologated for the Indian market, so what you might get in the Indian market eventually may be a different power and torque output, but should not be vastly different from this one. The 899 rides on 19-inch wheels with rear and front discs for stopping, equipped with an ABS to make it that much safer, and the brakes do a good job of bringing the bike to a stop as well. While in the front, the twin shocks do a great job of damping the aberrations of the surface, it is the monoshock in the rear which keeps things in line during fast cornering. Overall, the ride is stable and you feel confident even when riding hard. The big question now is, what do you really get if you do decide to buy this Benelli 899? Firstly, it's a machine which is easy to ride. It's lightweight and the straight handlebars give it an upright riding position, which makes it so very easy to ride even in overcrowded city conditions and for long hours. Secondly, if you do happen to find a long stretch of open road, you will be not disappointed with the power this 899cc engine churns out. It's enough to keep you happy and riding all day. And I finally think that in terms of designing, this is going to be one of the best looking bikes in the Indian market. And as for the price, we still don't know, but sources tell me that this will be competitively priced as well.
If you watched the episode last week, you'd have seen me cruising down the Yamuna in Allahabad and taking a holy dip in the Sangam. Well, not quite. I didn't manage to muster up the courage to get into the water because it was bitterly cold. But I did see lots of people doing just that. And today I'm off to Varanasi because Allahabad and Varanasi are like twin siblings in terms of religious significance. They're also very closely located. So if you come to Allahabad, it's really worth making the drive to Varanasi. And to take me there, I have the fabulous new Mercedes C-Class, a car that's powerful and comfortable. I also believe that NH2, which connects Allahabad to Varanasi, is a brilliant highway. So with beautiful roads and a great car, I really couldn't be asking for more. See you in Varanasi.
To get to Varanasi from Allahabad, you continue on NH2, and the new C-Class, producing about 181 bhp and 300 Nm of torque, ensures that this is a very enjoyable journey. And once I get to Varanasi, I'm sure there will be lots to discover. Also known as Kashi, or the City of Life, and Banaras, Varanasi is one of the world's oldest cities and is regarded as one of Hinduism's 7 holy cities. But time to breathe in some fresh air now.
Stop in Varanasi is of course the Banaras Hindu University. Now this is one of Asia's oldest and largest universities, and it attracts scholars from all over the world, particularly to study Sanskrit literature and Hindu scripture. It's produced several renowned artists, academics and scientists, and the campus is truly a lovely place to walk around in.
Banaras Hindu University is one of the largest residential universities in Asia, with over 20,000 students. It's a serene oasis amidst the hustle-bustle of the city. But it's that very chaos I'm here to experience, so it's time I head to the Ghats. And when you're driving a car like the new C-Class, it doesn't bother you much even if you get caught in traffic on the narrow roads here, because the steering is really light and very easy to maneuver.
Well, once again I find myself on a boat floating down the river Ganga. But I'm not complaining because I'm sure this time it's going to be just as wonderful as it was in Allahabad as well. Today my starting point is Assi Ghat, which is one of the biggest and most important ghats here. It's also one of the southernmost ghats in Varanasi. And it's important because it's here that the river Assi and the river Ganga meet. And I'm going to make my way now to Dashashwamedh Ghat. So I'm looking forward to the journey.
Like all ancient cities, Banaras is on the banks of a river. In this case, possibly the most important river in India, the Ganga. The city lies along its western banks and extends from the Ghats into a complex network of gullies. It is also considered a very sacred place from which to leave this mortal life. People from all over the country and even the world come here to absolve themselves of their past sins, which a dip in the holy Ganga ensures.
After a short boat ride, I've arrived at Dashashwamedh Ghat, which is one of Varanasi's most colourful and lively ghats. And it gets its name because it's believed that Brahma sacrificed 10 horses here. Now, I haven't yet explored Varanasi on foot, so I'm really looking forward to getting a sense of the labyrinth-like gullies that comprise this city. But one of the most beautiful sights to see in Varanasi is the Ganga Aarti, which happens every evening right here. So I promise you I'm going to be back to witness that spectacular event. You can't come to Varanasi and miss it, so see you then.
Walking along the ghats and gullies as narrow as this is an experience which only Varanasi can offer. These lanes are the lifeline of Varanasi and bustling with activity, both commercial and holy. Walking around will amaze you. From incense sticks and sacred objects, to toys you might have played with when you were a child, to some exquisite and very expensive silk, something which Varanasi has long been famous for. There's lots of wonderful things on offer. And at this point, my womanly instincts take over and it's time to see one of the most famous products from Varanasi, the silk saris.
The other thing that Varanasi is very famous for are the beautiful Banarasi silk saris. And as a woman, this is something I was extremely excited about, to see these exquisite textiles. You know, these Banarasi silks are some of the finest in the country, and they're very well known for this beautiful zari and embroidery work that you see here. In fact, they're the pride of many women. Their saris that they wear on their wedding day, they then, pass them on from generation to generation. And there's something really just extraordinary about the quality of the work here. It can take from 15 days to 6 months to make some of these saris, and of course the prices vary accordingly.
Varanasi is a famously holy city, and this could not be more evident than when you walk around. The streets are dotted with temples of all sizes. You can visit the holiest of them all, the Kashi Vishwanath temple at Gadulia, making your way through the by-lanes. Or you could go to the new one at the BHU campus and walk around.
A trip to Varanasi is truly a unique experience. Nothing that you would have read or heard or seen about this place from second-hand sources can quite prepare you for the magic of actually being here. Whether it's walking through those gullies or across the ghats, or even taking a boat across the Ganga, there's something just inexplicable about the flavor of this city that you have to come and see for yourself. But as I promised, before I go, I'm going to leave you with another beautiful sight, which is going to take place right here, the evening Aarti.